So we're taking a quick dinner break at the Chili's. And because it's such an important topic, I think we should talk about fear again.
Yeah.
But specifically more about not being afraid to fail, but being afraid to look stupid or foolish or incompetent.
Right, because, you know, Cammon was asking if we've been talking too much about the fear factor. Is it too negative? But I got to tell you, everybody who we've talked to, yeah.
This girl walk for you guys?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Oh, you guys haven't got your chips and salsa.
No.
We'll just eat it.
Well, I mean, I have experiences that I can relate in my life that I know that I've held back when I probably could have received a greater result of whatever the situation was if I had let myself go a little bit and not worried about looking so stupid or looking like I was too energetic or looking like I was too excited about something. I'm trying to be reserved and professional and cool, I guess. And I'm sure that's hindered a lot of situations that I could have been. That the energy and the synergy and showing excitement could have pushed things further and faster and better relationships.
Here you guys go.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's
Cheers.
nice. Thank you.
We have to be careful. We're going to crunch really, really loud. So I apologize. We're going to crunch really, really loud. Because these are chips.
So it's about looking embarrassed. It's about there's so many times. The reason this is so important is because everybody we talk to, I've done it several times with my Kickstarter projects. No matter how many times you've done it, there is a fear factor every single time. Is it going to be rejected? Am I going to be turned down? Are people going to say no? And I talking to the Spiel guys, right? They've done it. They have a very successful show, lots of fans. The fear factor's still there. No matter how many times you do it, that hesitancy. Because oftentimes, you know, we're not used to, I've talked about this, we're not used to asking people for money, and we're not used to opening ourselves up and our dreams to criticism from other people, and here we're being judged with money. So it's like the double taboo.
This is almost the ultimate popularity contest.
Uh-huh. But with money. And that changes things. Seth Godin on my show talked about it a lot. That the Kickstarter phenomenon is because of the money. You know, there's crowdfunding, there's been donation sites and charity sites, and PayPal lets you do pledges, but Kickstarter is changing that. It's the dreams and the ideas and the...
Yeah, why is that different? Because it's been for years you could do a PayPal pledge, and you could receive money if you got people excited about it. But is it that funded button? Pardon me.
Well, partly
That makes it a difference?
in years past, when you were asking for money and using PayPal to do it, you were electronically doing something that you would just, to make it easier to do what you were doing normally. I'm asking you for money. Well, how are you going to give me some money? Cash, check, credit card. Well, I don't take credit cards.
Right.
Square,
Right.
but that's new.
Right.
So, well, if you go to my website and you use PayPal, all right, then you can give me some money. But Kickstarter doesn't do that. I mean, what it's doing is saying, no, I've got this idea, and I'm going to go get a whole bunch of friends, family, and strangers to participate in the idea itself and not just the fundraising. And the pledge levels, right? That PayPal, that's all part of that game. So I mean, that's a lot of it.
I guess part of it too is, speaking of fear, it takes some fear away from the pledgers because then they don't get charged, obviously, until it looks like you're going to be successful. But let's go back to the topic at hand, which is overcoming that fear yourself of looking foolish. And how do you overcome that other than just recognizing it and saying, I'm going to do it? Is it as easy as that?
You ever jumped off a bridge with a bungee cord?
No, but I've gone cliff diving.
You know how hard it is? It's not very hard. It's not hard to fall off a bridge.
It's true.
It's just that easy.
So why don't more people do it? Why does it seem hard?
Because the mechanics of falling off a bridge are easy. The mechanics of overcoming your fear and just doing it are easy. We're not talking about the mechanics.
Sorry, I am a technician.
All you have to do is push the button. It's
true.
easy.
Okay.
A couple of reasons. You ever known a perfectionist who never quite felt that it was done?
Never.
Never.
I've never known anyone like that.
Right.
Myself.
Well, think about it. On a Kickstarter project, before you hit the launch button, there's always more stuff you can do. You can edit the video, go over the pledge levels again, do some more marketing, build up your Twitter followers, do your Facebook, do another interview, get it out there, create new images. You can always keep tweaking it because it's never done. It's never done. And so what happens is that people get tied up in that.
Well, it's a good excuse. It's an easy excuse to fall into, well, I want to make sure I do it right.
So now let's talk about really how do you overcome it. One is the preview button in Kickstarter allows you to show the project to people before you launch. A trial balloon.
A trial
balloon.
Oh, balloon.
You get to show it to your friends and family or whoever, and you get to tell yourself subconsciously, it doesn't really matter what they say because it's not real, and I can always pull it.
It's a safe place too because, and
people can't find it.
Well, they can't find it, but it's also if it's people who care about you, if they give you criticism,
they want you to succeed.
It's not going to be, well, hopefully your family isn't such that they criticize you for doing it, but more of a, hopefully they have some good constructive criticism.
Yeah. Putting preparation into it is a double-edged sword. The more preparation, the more confident you can feel, but the more preparation, the more you can get into, oh, I got to keep preparing. It's harder to know when to stop. My projects, I have a few, the ones I've done so far have had almost no preparation. I have an idea, I want to try it. And sometimes the execution of the idea, the conception of the idea and the execution are so close that it's not the planning process. I just want to see what happens. Can I do this? What's it like? And that makes it a little different than most projects.
We're good. I want to make sure I wasn't doing it like a stop motion, time lapse.
Make sure we weren't talking to ourselves.
Yep.
So that's kind of where we're at. Ready? Watch this.
Okay, so I've taken the first step and I've launched the test bed. I mean, there's other methods too. Maybe you could.
Couple of things. You got to hold yourself hostage, and the way you do that is you tell people, "I'm launching on this day."
Accountability partners.
When I launched my first one, I didn't do that, and it kept delaying, and a week went by, and another week went by, and people who knew were like, "When are you going to launch it?" "Oh, soon. Oh, soon." And finally, I just had to do it. And what you need to do is to actually set yourself a deadline. I'm going to launch on this day. And then hold yourself to that and have other people hold you to that. Another way, this one's wicked. This is wicked. You shouldn't do this to yourself. Put the responsibility of the launch in somebody else's hands. So create a generic, your user ID and passcode. Give that passcode to somebody. You can even create a special one and change it back later. And give it to them. And they're the ones that's going to launch the project for you.
They're hitting the button.
They're hitting the button.
You can't stop them.
You give them access and tell them to change the password so you can't get in and stop it. Because once it's launched, you can't pause it. You can cancel it and relaunch, but once it's going, it's going. And I call that wicked because you better trust that person, and you better have a really strong relationship because you're not going to be happy with them. So that's a pretty wicked one.
And I mean, that's it's a proven method. The whole deadline, it's a proven method because that's how I work. Period. We have deadlines. I mean, I'm amazed sometimes. I look at stuff that I have done for clients, and I go, "This is awesome." And then I look at stuff I've done for myself and go, "Why haven't I done this for myself?" Oh, well, it's because the client. I didn't call myself up and say, "In 2 weeks, I need this project done and delivered and selling for me." And you just gotta, again, wear that hat where you're the client and you're the producer at the same time. Only way you're gonna be able to get done.
And by giving it to somebody else, you can do all the creation yourself. It doesn't hurt also to have somebody else help you create it. Put somebody else in charge of the video. Get some help. And you know what? And it doesn't even have to be friends and family. You can get help from perfect strangers. Funding the Dream on LinkedIn. I have a group there. You can go out. Got hundreds of people willing to help. The forums. There's all kinds of different ways.
Aha.
I brought you some extra chips.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Rachel.
You're welcome, guys. Does that look okay?
Do you have like a barbecue dipping sauce?
Yeah, barbecue.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So we should probably wrap this up before we cover the camera with stuff. And I think we've pretty much talked about it. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept. It's just committing yourself to one of the two processes.
Yep. That's what it is.
And I mean, it's deceptively simple where you feel like, oh, I'm just going to do it. Just make sure, set a timer, talk to your friend, your neighbor, but do take that first step that's going to help you move forward because, again, falling off the bridge, the mechanic's not hard.
Mechanic isn't hard.
But it's that first step, taking the mental step is the hardest part.
It is. Okay, there you go.
Thanks for hanging out.